Creatures of the night, it's your favorite ghoul, Tati. Let's talk about Ring of Honor. We had an interesting show. We had an hour of 20 minutes of wrestling tonight. We did start off with MXM Collection, who are backstage. They're getting ready to be in the opening match, and they have left a bottle of seed in the hands of Mansoor. Mansoor is supposed to get on the plane and bring it over. However, because of the way he look, because of his name, he's getting stopped by customs, and they're checking to make sure there ain't no funny business. You know how the whole thing going on with ICE and everything. They checked him, and they said, well, you can go, but the bottle of seed gonna stay right here on the airport. So unfortunately, we did not have the bottle of seed to spray into anyone's eyes tonight. We started off the night with MXM Collection and Taya Valkyrie ringside to go against Sky Flight, which is just top flight out there. Scorpio Sky, I don't think he was there. But the beautiful Layla Gray was out there, and the somewhat beautiful Christopher Daniels was also there as well. MXM Collection, super entertaining. They're funny, they got the charisma, they got everything you're looking for in a team. But then there is Top Flight. When it comes to wrestling, they are definitely one of the top tag teams within the company. However, it's hard watching even both of these teams because there seems to be no clear direction for both of them. Now, I miss Top Flight. I feel like we barely got a chance to see them. Even with them being part of this thing that's going on with Christopher Daniels in this group, we really haven't seen much of anything happening for these guys, and I wish I had better things to say. Obviously, Mason and Mansoor are getting into shenanigans. They have Taya out there. They have Johnny TB out there to help them, and that wasn't enough for them to take the win. Top Flight ends up taking the win, and honestly, I really wish that they got a chance to have more. No tag titles or anything. These guys are even further and further away from any titles in this damn company, and honestly, I wish that wasn't the case. Either way, congratulations to Top Flight for the win. Please give these guys way more time on TV. Up next, we do have the Workhorsemen going against Chance Prophet and Rosario Grillo. I'm not gonna lie, I had to do a double take at Chance because I thought that was Christopher Daniels going back out there for extra TV time and just trying to get back into the ring. Honestly, this was just squash situation, and when I look at the Workhorsemen, I don't see squash guys. I love to see what they do in the ring, and Anthony Henry, oh my god, JD Drake, oh my god, these guys are so fucking amazing in the ring. I don't want to see them in the ring for 2 minutes. I don't care for that. Now, it was great to see them take the win, even though it was quick. But interesting developments. LFI comes out, minus Beast Muertos. They come on out there and they're showing out that they got their ROH tag titles. And to be honest with you, I would probably feel salty too because Workhorsemen been putting in the work for quite some time and they haven't gotten an opportunity to win these titles. So they're out there just pretty much rubbing it into their face hey, we champion something that you probably never will be. We'll keep this in mind a little bit later on the show. With a Pure Rules match with the ladies, and this is not going to be the last time we see the girls tonight. We had Zoe Lynn going against Yuka Sakazaki. Yuka, she is in the Women's Pure Tournament. She's going to be going against Serena Deeb at some point. Tony Khan, whenever you feel like getting with it, we'll just wait. That's all we can do. And Yuka ends up taking the win in a little over 4 minutes. Honestly, I never really looked at her as someone that would be in a tournament like this. But the more and more that I'm seeing her in the ring these past few weeks, I'm like, you know what? She does fit in a tournament like this. But I still don't see her beating someone like Serena Deeb. Now, we do get a little run-in with her and Serena having a little bit of a stare down. And honestly, I think it's going to be really interesting to see them get in the ring. I still, even though I'm being won over by Yuka a little bit more these past few matches, I still don't see her at the level of Serena Deeb, but who knows what's going to happen when they actually go against each other. So we have another vignette at the frat house. Once again, they still partying it up. And then we have Glacier, who comes out there to be like, I don't know, like he's like the coach or something, and he's trying to cool things down because they're outside and it's hot and they've been wilding for the past few weeks, whatever. And so he's there to cool things down, and then he turns into the Glacier character and he's beating them up. It was really, really fun. Nice, cool moment. Anyway, we do get the frat house, which is Griff Garrison, Cole Carter, and Jack Jameson to go against oh, damn. I tried to remember everybody's names. I'm so sorry. Local talent. I apologize. It just was what it was. I really do like the frat house a lot. And I feel like not only everybody in the group are great wrestlers, but I feel like this is a really unique type of group, especially a heel type of group. When you really think of it, you're like, I don't think I've ever seen this done before in this type of way. And I would love to see them have opportunities to win more, especially where it really counts, like against people who are actually on the roster. Great win here for the frat house, but I need more, a hell of a lot more. We got a quick promo from LFI backstage, basically letting the Workhorsemen know that whenever they're ready for them. After this, we have Aaron Solo going against Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal takes the win. I thought this was a great match, but I really do feel like the part that's kind of killing it for me, and this is test like my way of, like I've always told people that the most important part of wrestling is the wrestling, which is true. But on a weekly basis, if you're watching something, you're invested, you want to actually see like character development. You want to see a start of something, and then, oh, we're working towards this and this is how it ends. Like there is like no actual start, there's no middle, there's no end. It's just people getting in the ring and just getting into matches. And I feel like a lot of people actually need something to be going on for people to feel invested, not just in the show but into these wrestlers as well. So I like everybody I see in the ring, but I just need to see more. Oh, why am I tuning into this every week? And it can't just be the great wrestling and the good looking man. Now, after this, Premier Athletes going against Slowpoke Paul, there we go, Gen Z, and Reese Ramon. I said I was going to keep my eyes out on homegirl that just joined the group. Her name is Story Denali. She's tall, beautiful, and she's not doing much yet. I have not yet seen her do, what am I looking for? Just coming in there and choke slamming somebody and kicking them and like 2-3 moves and that's it. Doesn't really show me what I want to see in a wrestler. I'm not a squash type of girl, if we haven't realized that by now. But she's new, and I'm still just going to give it some time. It's pretty much the guys doing all the work in the ring, and then here is her coming in just to finish it off at the end. And I'm not mad at that, but I just wish that we got a chance to see more of her in the ring so I can at least judge what I see as a wrestler. And so far, I'm not seeing enough to give an opinion on her. At least with her, the Premier Athletes are finally winning matches. Now, we also do have Katie Arquette going against Serena Deeb in another Pure Rules match. Serena, I am worried for Deonna. I'm worried for her because Deonna's my pick still, but I still feel like Serena, like what she does in a ring is unmatched by most of the girls on the roster, even on AEW roster. If we're talking in a Pure Rules sense of mind here, I feel like she's just absolutely top notch. And when I look at her in the ring, I'm blown away by her wrestling ability, but I'm bored by everything else. Serena ends up taking the win. After this, we had probably one of the best matches I've seen this week that really surprised me. Diamante teaming up with Billy Starks. They finally did something where Diamante may be part of this thing with Athena. I don't know if you guys remember months ago. Things wasn't really playing out right with Billy Starks and Athena, and then Diamante was basically throwing her hat in the game and saying, hey, I can be one of your minions, I can do whatever you need me to do. And Athena seemed to have agreed, and nothing came from that. But here we are with Diamante and Billy Starks teaming together. They're going against Alex Windsor and Cirie. Cirie is the IWGP Women's World Champion. When I say Alex and Cirie had this chemistry where it was just like, oh, so AEW new tag titles, yeah, you can bring them over here. I was blown away. I was blown away. I personally do not ever remember hearing them ever tagging with each other, but they looked like an amazing team. And don't get me wrong, Diamante was fucking killing it. I mean, Billy, she's there. But Diamante was wrestling like rent is due. And I was just like, yo, there's no reason why I should not be seeing her every freaking week. I thought everyone did well. And I think that Diamante teaming up with Billy actually was a really good choice because they complement each other in the ring as well. But their chemistry was nowhere near what I saw with Alex and Cirie. And maybe, hopefully in the future, we get a chance to see these two teaming up again. Just for shits and giggles. Probably not for the title or anything. But I thought that they did really well. Something like this would have did amazing in the middle of a Collision episode or a Dynamite episode. Cirie and Alex Windsor ends up taking the win, but I would love to see more of Billy Starkz and Diamante together. Now, after this, Jalisco going against Beef, Cousin Beef, who was in the ring. Jalisco come out and he's looking at Rush like, this is what I'm doing? This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going against. And he seemed like he didn't even want to get in the ring because he's just like, look, give me some competition, something. He gets in there and he turns Beef into ground beef and take the win. Now, this was really to get the story going with the Workhorsemen and Rush and Sammy, since earlier they came on out. Beef is a cousin of Anthony Henry, if you guys don't remember. And they beat the shit out of Beef after the match. Anthony Henry, who typically is just like, look, don't tell nobody that I know you type of cousin. But he comes on out there because obviously he can't watch any of this go on. So he and J.U. Drake come on out there to take care of business. But LFI scattered like flies. And we're definitely going to be getting a match with LFI and the Workhorsemen. Now, I will say this. The story is there. Something is there. And I don't want it to be like, well, tune in next week, the Workhorsemen versus LFI. No, I don't want to see that. Like, let it cut. Like, we don't have to rush to a match. Let a little story, a little feud play out. I think that's something that's missing on the show. So no rush for them to get to that point. And, maybe they can do a little, I don't know, trios action, something or whatever before we actually get to the tag titles being put on the line. And I can actually wait to see where that goes because that's what we need. Champions, they need feuds, they need stories being told so that people can see, like, why the fuck you champion? Like, it's not just, defending the titles. Like, we need more TV time and times to be able to tell stories with other wrestlers. Now after this, Alex Windsor challenged Cirie for the IWGP Women's Championship for next week episode of Ring of Honor, which is actually taped today in Florida, which was very interesting. So look, recently she challenged Cirie for the title. Cirie was like, who the fuck is Alex Windsor, And obviously Alex is salty about it. And she says all this after the match. It's like, so you just went out there and had a banger match with somebody that side-eyed you. And it didn't seem like there was no problem until after the match is over. And now you're just like, all right, well, I want my title shot. It felt a little bit weird for her to bring that up after the fact. But either way, I know they're going to tear it up one-on-one, especially since they did a really great job as, tag team. So we'll see what ends up happening next week with the title being on the line. After this, we do have our main event. AR Fox versus Johnny TV. We do have MXM Collection, who are beaten up from their opening match with Top Flight. And they're out there oohing and ahhing. Ow, this hurt my ribs. Oh, my head. All that. It's actually funny. And what's interesting is that AR Fox, who is definitely one of the best wrestlers they have in that entire roster, he comes out every single time and amazes people. And I am just like, why isn't he in some type of story? Like, why isn't he being treated like a top babyface within AEW? Like, the connection is there with the crowd. Yes, he needs work on the mic. People have never even heard AR Fox's voice. They love this guy, and they need to give him more opportunities to see like what potential he has in terms of being a big baby face in the company. He goes out there, he kills it with Johnny TB. Like, Johnny is another really great wrestler who be like under the radar because, you know, he's on Ring of Honor and he just beginning to shenanigans with MXM Collection, but their chemistry was really great. And at first I was like, I don't know about this being the main event, especially after what we've seen with the girls in the tag match. But they actually was just like, they shut me up and I was like, all right, I see why we in the main event. And AR Fox ended up taking the win. Like, literally with MXM, the whole gang be out there. That does nothing at all for Johnny in terms of him taking the win. Overall, I thought we had really great wrestling. However, the stories, we need that. We need it to be consistent too. Like, don't start something one week so that next week it can be the match. Like, I understand what they did with Sari and Alex. Like, Sari is not going to be able to just sit here and come on a show on a weekly basis, especially as the IWGP champion. So, you know, we're doing this quickly, so that makes sense. But everything else, everybody else is within Ring of Honor. We don't have to rush anything. Tell a story. Let people want to watch next week to see this story unfold in the long run. You guys, if you didn't see the show, go ahead and check it out. It was great. I'll see you guys for Collision review on Saturday. Bye.